Hey guys, it's James Grafton from fitnessforbusypeople.com.au here. Unfortunately here I'm a little bit sick, and as a result last week's video was delayed, so I'm doing a longer video today about how to use myfitnesspal and a little bit more information about how to set up your macronutrients in the program and how to make it nice and easy. So the purpose of myfitnesspal, as I'll show you here on the screen, once you've signed up to it and you've selected the amount of weight you want to lose at which rate, there are different rates. It'll stay at 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 and 1 kilogram per week, and that's the options for MyFitnessPal. I would suggest anything from 0.5 to 1 kilogram, so you have a few options. Otherwise it's a bit too slow for most people and they often won't see any weight shift change. So the program is very useful. It has a big library of the calories involved in many Australian products. That's why I'm suggesting it to as an Australian. I've already added here, once you've entered and you've calculated your calories and you've been honest with MyFitnessPal about your exercise tendencies, I would probably underestimate your exercise a little bit, so that way you'll be having more of an appropriate adjustment for your calories. And if you did choose kilojoules, don't worry, you can always change that setting, and it doesn't matter whether you use calories or kilojoules. You'll notice quickly as you start adding food what the breakdowns are. So here's a little snapshot of me just showing people how many calories it would take for me to lose 1 kilogram per week doing nothing. So I would only need 1,720, which is probably less than the average person. That's if I'm doing literally no exercise at all. So what you do is once you've calculated the rate you want to lose weight and you've put in kind of what your exercise habits are, you go to add food, and that's your main button you're interested in on MyFitnessPal. As you can see here, I've already added my breakfast in from this morning to show you a little bit of how it works. It automatically calculates what was in those foods. Now, the big tendency with MyFitnessPal is that people don't read exactly the serving size they use. So often people will just go with their default one, that's the first one. Don't forget you can have one serving of, a smaller can or 1 gram, or more likely what you ate was 1 container. So I ate 1 container of baked beans. That's what it was, about 414 gram container. So once you added the food from breakfast, here's a little nifty trick that I show a lot of people. You can come back the following day. If you eat the same breakfast every day, it becomes very easy, because then all you'll do is you'll click on your recent tab and then you'll check the items you had for breakfast the previous day and you just add checked and it's done automatically. So that's a very handy tool, and once you familiarize yourself after a week or two of MyFitnessPal, you'll pick up on how easy it is quite quickly. Now, there's one other issue with MyFitnessPal that I would suggest people change. You go to home and then you go to goals. What you're looking for in goals is actually this ratio is different. I've changed it already, but it does usually start as 50% carbohydrates. It's a lot higher in the default settings of MyFitnessPal. I would strongly suggest that you change your protein to 40%, your fats and carbohydrates to 30%. As a result, this lets you eat chocolate and some baked goods and things that are a bit more fat dense. But more importantly, if you're trying to lose weight, your protein intake is much higher than what you need to be. And as a result, you will retain lean muscle mass, it will keep you satiated and you won't be hungry. Your meals will revolve a little bit more around your protein habits, which is good because that's a good habit to have, especially if you're an athlete. As a consequence, at least this is flexible enough, in my opinion, than the original default standard. So once you change those ratios and you're familiar with logging food and everything, you can add exercise if you'd like. I do tend to stay away from that function, as adding exercise is usually overestimated quite easily. The only other thing about MyFitnessPal is that please don't worry too much about sodium and sugar and the other little things you can track, like iron and stuff. Iron can be useful for ladies especially. I would be more concerned really with just your overall energy intake, your carbs, your fat and your protein. Okay, so this is what you're really interested in. And if you're not ready to be super strict and obey all the criteria just yet, and you just want to get used to dealing with just putting food into the program, that's a really good way to start. Even just trying once or twice a week to start putting food into the program, learning the program is a good idea. And once you get better and better and you're starting to feel a little bit better and starting to want to see results and you get more consistent, the easier you lose weight. Alright guys, so I've talked about MyFitnessPal today and the macronutrient split I'd recommend and why, and some little nifty shortcuts of MyFitnessPal. So if you have any questions or concerns, please send me an email or leave any comments and feedback below.